Hello viewers, myself Professor Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay, teaching in Department of Library and Information Science, University of Kalyani in West Bengal. Today we are going to talk and discuss about emerging trends for libraries in the context of public libraries. You admit it or not, you believe it or not, the change already happened. In the public libraries also, we need to face this change. Let us, if you focus in this particular snapshot of the screen, you see here there are two bars. One is the blue bar, one is the maroon bar. Blue bar indicates the number of e-journals or print journals actually introduced in a given year, covering all disciplines of the world, and maroon bar indicates number of e-journals introduced in a given year. You see here the first e-journal appeared in the year 1996, and in that year the number of print journals introduced, new print journal introduced around 1500 plus. Then within 4 years it actually outnumbered the print journals. You see the graph in 2000. It actually outnumbered the print journals, and you see the last year, that is the 2006, number of new electronic journals introduced around 2800 and print journal reduced to 4 to 5. So within the span of 12-13 odd years, the entire bibliographic domain changed from the print to digital. So change already happened. More people are alive now than have ever lived and died in the entirety of human history put together. More than 150 million people will be born in this year, and most importantly, they will be born into an information economy. Never has information been so important. You see, nowadays, any technology, the central focus is information. Your smartphone, computer, your different kind of communication devices, GPS tracking, all are basically focused on access to information. The world has never changed so quickly all over the last 5 or 10 years. Top 10 jobs of 2015 did not even exist in 2012. Amazing. And here you see why? Because nowadays if you see the university level of education and the changes in the knowledge domain, when a particular student graduated after 4 years, that very moment what he or she learned in the first year or second year become outdated. So this kind of unprecedented changes occurring at the level of technology, at the level of dynamic growth of the knowledge, and naturally in the libraries we need to change ourselves to cope up with this change, to keep abreast with the ongoing changes. The whole world is facing a variety of information resources coming from different sources through different channels, and finally it is creating information overload on the user community. Here in the screen snapshot you can see huge number of service providers related to different sectors of information are available, and every day it is increasing. And you believe it or not, too much of information, as it you can see the snapshot, is actually as bad as too little of information, where the libraries do not have any information at all. So what are the problems actually at the user end? So most of the cases these information resources are fragmented across the globe. It is very difficult for a user to find them, to learn search techniques for different search entities and search services, to search them separately. Then after retrieving that, they need to evaluate it whether they are authenticated or not. Then different kind of individual changes are happening every day. So again learning curve is increasing, and finally after spending lot many hours in before internet or by using internet, at the end they are found very little bit of relevant information. So these are the problem at the user end happening. So at the end of the day, who is your friend? Most of the users are using Google or any other search services. For a statistics, you can take for any given point of time 3 billion users are logged into Google to search information. But the Google search or search of any search services seldom produce any kind of satisfactory information search services, because the recall value of these search services are very high and relevancy and precision is very low, because they all go for the keyword indexing system. So user badly need help. They need help from the librarians to navigate the information landscape. And another point of another actually additional factor to this point is the exorbitant price rise of the journals and e-resources. Say for example, if you see the graph here in the screen, you see the red light indicates the price rise of journal from 86 to 2002. Here the red line you can see it has increased in the tune of plus 222%. And how can we compare or justify this kind of exorbitant price rise of the journal? If we compare it with the consumer price index or wholesale price index, you see the yellow bar. It basically says the wholesale price index all over the world increased during this period of time in the tune of plus 64%. So no economics can justify why journal prices are increasing in an exorbitant rate, and it is not actually going as per the wholesale price index of the world. So that is one of the problem of the libraries. We fail to procure documents required by the user, because every year publishers are actually increasing their price and libraries are dropping their title. Again next year, to keep the profit margin intact, they are rising the price, again libraries are dropping the title. So it become a vicious cycle as a whole. Every year they are rising price and every year libraries are dropping titles. So finally it is affecting our readership. So this is, apart from the information overload, this is also a problem, exorbitant price factor. And if we are going for a summary of what are actually happening in the information landscape, what changes are occurring, first one is definitely, as you know, information explosion, information overload. Then the rapid growth in user-centered information content. So for example, most of the web services are now interactive and collaborative, participative. User can create content as well as they can consume information. The best example is Wikipedia. You can search a topic, you can retrieve a topic, or you can start writing a topic one. So this kind of dialogue based information services where you can consume information as well as you can create information is again actually enhancing the information overload. Then changes in methods of accessing. Nowadays we are not only using computers, we are using our mobile phones, we are using different other devices to access information, library OPAC. So it's a multimodal and multinodal information access system. Social nature of information has changed. Most of the cases, social networking sites are now attracts people first, then they go to the libraries and other related services. So we need to span our outreach, we need to expand our service, we need to go beyond the four walls of libraries, and we need to create a joined up information system. So these are the trends in the information landscape which is happening nowadays. So because of this technological advance, three different library systems available with us. It started with traditional library system. Then during 70s we started library automation, and 90s most of the libraries are automated library system. Then during the 90s, with the advent of World Wide Web and other internet technologies, we started venturing into digital libraries, which is significantly different from the automated library system. Now, if we go for a comparative study of automated library system and digital library system, you see in case of automated library system, we are cataloging only metadata. That is, only metadata is searchable. But in case of digital libraries, both metadata and full text is searchable. We provide document description dataset in automated library system. But in case of digital library system, we provide completely full text source document. Most of the automated library system are using Mark 21 community information format and bibliographic format as content designator. But in case of digital library domain, we are using a generic metadata like Dublin core or sometimes domain specific metadata like IEEE LOM, GAILS, etc. We can process global resources for local access in case of automated library system. But in the digital library, focus is different. We are processing or developing local resources for the global user. So this way actually libraries are progressing from traditional to automated to digital. Nowadays we entered into the virtual libraries. Now virtual libraries are basically based on the virtual content. They are libraries, digital library of digital libraries. They do not have any physical infrastructure like a building, like a racks, like reading room, etc. What they are running, basically they can run from a table like this. They will have a server, they will harvest different digital libraries, they prepare a centralized index there, people will access this centralized services, and full text will be coming from different other digital libraries. So this way library systems are changing. So in case of public library system, what we need to change? What we need to provide more to attract users, because if we do not do something to keep pace with the ongoing changes, definitely public library, there is a chance that public libraries may die a natural death if we do not act now. So we need to change our social interaction. Libraries need to become more interactive, collaborative and participative. We need to change our service orientation. Libraries should be available from anywhere, at any time, for anyone. And we need to overcome two fundamental barriers of information access, that is time and space barrier. And finally we need to change at the system level. We need to use open contents, open source software and different kind of open standards for organizing these resources inside the libraries. Let us show you how libraries are actually doing it. And take it from me, most of the public libraries in the developed countries are utilizing different kind of open contents, social networking tools to attract users into their library services. Because as I told you earlier, this will not be a mere repetitive of the course content. Rather, you should use this particular video tutorial as a supplementary material. Now let us concentrate on the screen. Here you see it's a typical traditional opaque, which is a web enabled opaque, but here you see, here you can select the language of your search from the drop down menu. You can select different kind of social networking tools like Facebook, Twitter. You can click access a particular book. If you like it, you can click Facebook button, it will be directly posted into your Facebook wall book. So in this way we are supporting, by integrating this kind of resources, we are supporting the 5 laws of library science. All 5 laws of library science we are supporting. Here you see I have given a snapshot. If we search Granthagaar and select Bengali is the target language, it will be automatically translated into Bengali. So from the same interface you can search in different index script along with the English language documents. We need to change our library system features. We need to concentrate on virtual content, open content. Our libraries need to have virtual presence. We need to support distributed access. We need to support federated searching. Federated searching is something like that. You are basically harvesting data from different sources in a single place. User will search your single user interface and they will get full text information from distributed servers. The problem is that in this approach we do not have a predefined user groups. In the digital domain we do not know our users. So we should create user interfaces very systematically. We should emphasize on interoperability to collect resources from different organizations, and we should use Web 2.0 tools to make our libraries interactive, collaborative and participative. So public library landscape, what are the changes we need to follow presently? Because all these I told so far are basically the global trends. We need to change the basic literacy level. We need to organize different information literacy program. We need to develop referrals and reference services extensively by providing different kind of information so far unexplored by the public libraries, like cultural heritage resources, your local tourism information, current topics and titles. These things we need to provide. Again, we need to provide general information created by the government, because we are a welfare country and most of the welfare schemes are generated by the government. People do not have a single resource to access all these resources, so we need to provide those informations also. And we go for supporting lifelong learning of the user community. Now, if you see what are the changes happening in India, the changes actually started to happen after the establishment of National Knowledge Commission. We got Mission 2007 in the year 2000, actually established in the year 2004, named as Mission 2007. The objective of this particular project for the holistic development of ICT infrastructure in India. Then we have National Commission on Farmers, which recommended the establishment of village knowledge centers in almost all 6 lakh plus villages in India. Many state governments started their e-government initiative like Akha in Kerala, Mahoti Shakti, Banglar in different states of the country. Then finally, community information and communication system in different states of India started coming. For example, Digital Gangetic Plan, Drishti, Information Village project of MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, ITC's e-Opal, Enlog project of TNET Group, Tara Heart, etc. are actually coming up nowadays. So 2007 we started the journey, and in 2015 this ICT infrastructure and community oriented services are quite matured in India. We need to take advantage of this kind of ongoing changes. But as a professionals in public libraries, you need to take into account that you have some kind of special duties towards your user. First, you need to remember your services should be inclined to the disadvantaged sections of the community, because without the right to information and advice, the other rights have nothing to do with the betterment of the social life. Second point you need to remember, that information deprivation. There is like uh, division everywhere in the society, but digital divide, information divide is again creating a role to divide the rich from the poor for further distance. There is a close relationship between the lack of access to information and deprivation. So as a public library professional, you need to remember this. You need to provide information to the disadvantaged section of the society, to the lower strata of the society. Then fourth important point we need to remember is that government is the single largest producer of information in the country. So government at all three levels, central government, state government, local self-government, are actually generating lot of information in the form of welfare schemes, etc. So we need to actually tap these resources to create a single user interface for accessing this information. Then third and the fourth and the final is the, you need to remember the social changes and democratic values, because successful democracy needs informed citizenships, and informed citizenship can be a product of public libraries only, because public libraries are at the end of the day is considered people's university. Now, as we discussed that Indian public library system should remember different other factors to keep pace with the ongoing changes. Here I am presenting you before you actually the application of Web 2.0 tools and value addition from intermediaries. How can we utilize these tools to make public library systems much more interactive, collaborative and participative? Web 2.0 is basically an attitude, not a technology. So it actually aims to open up the library services in the interactive platform. It includes a number of core competencies that we are providing services, not the packaged software. we are providing controlling over the data, not only the textual information object. The trust, that is, you are using your users as co-developers. For example, you are allowing your user to rate different documents in the OPAC, to write reviews on different books they have already read. Harnessing the collective intelligence, you can utilize the community knowledge to develop, just like Wikipedia model, you can develop a community knowledge system in your own geographical area. You can allow user to participate in different kind of self services. Basically, you can allow web based check-in, web based circulation of library materials. You can utilize different lightweight user interfaces for developing those kind of modules. Now Web 2.0 cloud, if you look into the screen now, it basically a cloud of different kind of services which includes wikis, Foxonomy, different kind of social media, blogs, audio Massa, and different other things. These technologies are basically based on the Ajax asynchronous Java and XML based technologies, and you can include very easily these technologies through a system called API, application program interface. Now here you see how a portal is basically changing. A journal portal, a user can design by their own, according to their own requirement, based on different kind of Web 2.0 technologies. Use of Web 2.0 technologies are multifaceted. Basically, the tools can be divided into various categories. For example, collective intelligence support tools like wikis, blog, etc. Information Massa, where number of different sources can be integrated in a single user interface so that your library services can be enriched. You can have different kind of current awareness tools by using RSS. You can design personal search environment by using different kind of Web 2.0 tools. First, the most important tools we are going to discuss here, how this can be integrated into public library system to cope up with the changing user interfaces. First is RSS. RSS stands for Rich Site Summary or Really Simply Syndication or RDF Site Summary. Now what RSS does basically, say for example, let me give you a practical example from the library interfaces. Say today I am searching your library OPAC on a book on say for example community information service. Now that book is not available in your library. The moment I enter that search query community information service, it will create a RSS feed for me, and if that RSS feed I subscribe to my feed reader, then the moment a book added into your library, then it will inform me that the book is now available. So you can match the application of these services uh, you know through current awareness service, alerting services. That means you are not producing table of content service or display of the book jacket. In place of that, in digital environment you are using RSS as an alerting service. It will create RSS feed for each and every document, each and every search query entered by the user, and finally you can match it with your services. So RSS can be utilized in a big way to provide alerting services to the user. It actually a two-layer technology. At user end, they need to have the RSS feed reader, and at your end, that is the library end, you need to have technology which can create or produce RSS feeds. Let us, if you look into the screen, you see here the display of the screen snapshot of an RSS feed reader. Now in the left side of the panel you see I have entered the number of my favorite journals like Dilip magazine, etc. Now the moment I entered the feed of that particular journal into my RSS reader, you see here in the right hand panel all the content of that particular website is actually displayed in my desktop. That means I don't have to go to Dilip magazine or any other favorite journals. Rather, journal information will be coming to me. So that is basically the Web 2.0 philosophy. We are presently following the information pool model. User need to come to the library to pull the information. But slowly we are moving in the technological sphere to push model. That means user don't have to come to your library. Library information will go to them by using this kind of technologies like RSS. Another one is coming in a big way, that is how can we create personal search environment, because you see search preferences and different kind of requirement are different for different user. So you need to provide them tools to allow to create their personal search environment. You see here I displayed here the uh, directory of open access journal. It includes 10,500 different journals. Now from that, these journals, most of them are RSS compliant. You can create a RSS feed role from this journal and can serve your user. That means suppose your one of your user is really interested in the area of philosophy, and there are 170 plus journals available in DOAJ as open access journals on philosophy. Now it is not possible for a user to view 170 different websites every day. Instead of that, what you can do, you can create a feed role for all the 170 journals on philosophy. You can give your user that feed role. The moment they subscribe this feed role to their RSS feed reader, they can access the latest content of all these 170 philosophy journal without visiting those particular sites. Here you see apart from that RSS feed, you can create a Google custom search engine. Suppose again there are users who are interested in chemistry. On chemistry there are 250 plus journals in DOAJ. You can check it from the DOAJ website. Now you can selectively index those journal site by using Google custom search engine. Here you see the screen snapshot. I have actually indexed by using Google search custom search engine at 12 of my favorite open access journals available from DOAJ. Now the moment this search engine you will be creating, it will be giving you a token, that is in the form of URL. You can insert that URL inside your library homepage or your library OPAC. The moment you include, it will come as a text box from where your user can search all 250 plus chemistry journals from a single user interface. Very easily you can do it and incorporate into your website. Now that is the search result. Now you see the moment I search here, it only comes from my favorite journal, not the entire data sets of the Google. And many of the journal portals are using this kind of personal search environment in their websites. For example, uh, Public Library of Science Biology Journal, PLOS Biology. If you look into the screen snapshot, they are providing many tools. Apart from the simple search and retrieval the full text, they are providing many other tools which actually supports interactive nature of the services. For example, you can click the views, you can go to the full text, you can check how many times this particular document downloaded, from where it can be downloaded, you can download the full text, you can go for the citation graph, how many people cited it. So all this kind of interaction, collaboration are integrated with the journal portal and ebook sites presently, that we can do very well by using open standard and open source software in libraries. So apart from the use of RSS and personal search environment, the next best opportunity for libraries in the changing environment may be the information massa. What is information massa? It's basically a Web 2.0 idea. It means that on the fly real-time integration of resources from different distributed sources into a single place. Now let me explain this concept by giving you an example. Say for example, this is, if you look into the snapshot, this is a typical library OPAC. Now, this particular OPAC is integrated with Amazon. It's an open data sets available with us. If we integrate these Amazon sites with library OPAC by using information mashup technology, the moment a user search, so it will display the cataloging or bibliographic data from your local library. It will create RSS feed for that. You can check the RSS symbol there, and most importantly, it can snatch information from different resources. Say for example, in the right hand panel you can see the cover page which is coming from the Amazon. Now how it is happening? That question basically coming to your mind. Now what we have done would be basically we are linking Amazon databases with our local library OPAC through title ISBN matching rule. The moment a title and ISBN available in my local database is matching with the Amazon databases, it is snatching the cover page image related to that document, the reviews related to that document, rating given by different user for that document, all we are integrating in the OPAC on the fly. That means when users search, that will be integrated, your OPAC will be very rich, you are providing enhanced information services by utilizing information mashup technology. And most importantly, you don't have to pay for these services to the data provider. These are open databases available free of cost. Next screen snapshot, you can see that the query I have given there, I can uh, copy the RSS feed, I can paste it in my RSS feed reader, and the moment I paste it, it will give me the information related to a particular search query. Here it is web indexing. Now next what I would like to show you that it's not only the open data sets like Amazon, you can also link your library catalog data with table of content service freely available from CatDid of Library of Congress. So that is another example of information mashup. You are entering only a little bit of information related to the document available in your library. You are entering different mark fields 100 for main entity personal name 245 and so on. Now on the basis of that data you entered, it can snatch cover page image from Amazon, snatch review from Amazon, table of content if it is available from CatDid will also be available in your OPAC. The moment a library user click the table of content service, it will come from the CatDid. Let's see this. The moment user click the table of content service related to this particular book is coming from Library of Congress server. Now the same way you can create your browse self service. That means the moment user finds a particular book from OPAC, the moment he or she clicks the browse self, so it will locate the exact position of that book in the shelf, because all the books related to this particular shelf will be arranged by the call number. So you are basically placing the books by call number. So here you see in the screen snapshot the book which is displayed in the OPAC also shown where it is available in the shelf. And all this you can do again without paying anything to anybody by using simply information mashup technology. Now another interesting thing which can be utilized in a big way for different libraries, that is the integration of multimedia card catalog service in the library OPAC. Here you see different library automation software provides the ISBD based display, mark based display or the custom display. Here if you see the library OPAC here, you see we have displayed in the custom related or custom based format. Now the moment user click the ISBDs format, most of the library automation software gives you a dry text in the form of ISBD, but here you can add your or link your OPAC with the multimedia card service. The moment user click the ISBD format, it can display the data in the old library catalog card format. That's a really advantage for the users who are basically habituated to view bibliographic data on library cards. Apart from that, You can use lot of other interesting tools coming up on the basis of Web 2.0 technologies, which is actually based on the data donated by different users. For example, let me show you a service coming up which we can also utilize in the libraries. The service is called literature map. That means it is actually gives you a map of the authors. Let me clear this one. First, we collected different reading history of different users. Then we merged those reading histories into a single statistical file, and our software can automatically check if a reader reads a particular author X, then how many of the readers also read the author Y. That means, let me give you a real life example. Say for example, I am interested in Commonwealth literature. If I read a book written by Jhumpa Lahiri, then it shows who are the author very close to Jhumpa Lahiri as per the reading statistics. That means how many authors who read Jhumpa Lahiri also read V.S. Naipal and Robin Sharma. You see here in the snapshot, the moment I search by Jhumpa Lahiri, it actually place Jhumpa Lahiri as an author in the middle, and in the first circle there is V.S. Naipal, Robin Sharma, etc. In the second cycle there are other authors, in the third cycle there are other authors. So the advantage of this kind of circulation cloud is that the moment a user search by a user, he or she readily came to know that if I I can go through, or he or they can go through the second level of authors, and these are the second level of authors which are closely associated with the Jhumpa Lahiri as per the reading statistics of the users. So here you are not disclosing the individual reading history. You are actually collecting reading history from different resources or different user and matching statistically them and finally giving a circulation count. So literaturemap.com, if you go there, you can check this particular service, and that technology can easily be incorporated into Library OPAC so that user can know, or the Library OPAC itself can guide them that if you read author X, then maybe you may go through the author Y and author Z because these are related as per the reading statistics. Another interesting tool coming in the Web 2.0 era is what should I read next. If you go to the whatshouldireadnext.com, you just type the title of the book and author of the book you just completed. The moment you click what should I read next, it will give you again a list of documents on the basis of reading history of the users. So basically it says that the person who read the book Digital Library written by Ian Wotton also read these are the books related on the digital library. So in the snapshot you can check that how it works. So this kind of service you can provide in the public libraries also to guide reader to find the next available title or next readable title. Similarly, there are many other services like Connect via Books. You can check it and you can incorporate it. So after this Web 2.0 tools and technologies, you please remember that technology is not the only solution. Technology does not determine change, humans do. So apart from that, technological factors which you can incorporate very easily in public library services, you please also consider the following focal areas for public libraries in India. One is expanded social interaction, decreased transaction cost, employment and educational gains, increased information exchange, greater skill and confidence building, increased knowledge of the community, increased access to quality information, and ability to identify trusted information. So these are the focal areas where we can support our user in a great deal, and we can earn their trust and we can serve them better. So owing to the changes what we have discussed so far, we can set a new set of library rules which has been proposed by McDonald in 2006. According to these new laws of library science, owing to the advent of technology, the first law is the library is everywhere. The second law is library has no barriers. Third, library invites participation. That means the future is interaction, collaboration and participation. Fourth, the library uses flexible best of the breed component based system. Here it is emphasized on open standard and open source software. And fifth one, or the final one, is the library is a human centered organization. As I told you, technology does not determine change, humans do. On the top of everything, you need to have a personal aid. You need to provide a personal aid, personal help to your user to navigate in the jungle of information resources. And please remember at the end that it is not the strongest of the species that survive, not the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change, as advised by Charles Darwin. Happy learning.